Hey, what is up, guys? I'm back. Here is Thanksgiving. So, first of all, happy Thanksgiving. But, yeah, I figured I would go ahead and do that, controller comparison more in-depth that I said I might do during my, Day 1 edition unboxing. Just trying to get stuff out of the way. And, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and start to do that. So, I'll just kind of go through just part by part the controllers. I'll actually go ahead and start with the basic look first. I know I did this in the unboxing, but whatever. So, as I've sort of started to notice now that I've been using the Xbox One controller more, is that, first of all, the grips on the 360 kind of slope down while they kind of are arched on here, and it's a really great grip for the controller. The controller also, as many people have noted, the battery pack is gone. It's very annoying. Just kind of like big eyesore. The batteries are always falling out. I mean, what is this? You're using, and it forces you to use two different kinds of batteries. Also, the battery life on the Xbox One is really great. I've been using it since the day it came out. I haven't needed to change batteries. Batteries aren't even low yet. It's awesome. But, yeah, so, and obviously they're different, but, I mean, you can just tell just by looking at them how different they are. But, yeah. So, on to the D-pad, arguably the one thing that no one really liked about the 360 controller. So, when you sort of rest your hand on the D-pad for the one, it's really nice the way it feels, because you can easily go to it and it feels natural, almost. Well, I found whenever I was using the 360 controller, it's kind of like, it's kind of my device being low on battery. That's what the sound is. So if you hear that, I don't know if you did hear it, but if you do hear it, that just means that it's low on battery. But anyways, I found that the D-pad is just sort of not really doing it, and obviously Microsoft realized that no one really liked it. The joysticks are also smaller, but they're taller. If that makes any sense. If you can get a good, if I can get a good sort of side by side. 360s are bigger, but they're not as tall as the ones. And like these have also been worn down. You'll notice that, like right in here, that's all been worn by my fingers. But yeah. Also, it's probably because it's worn, but it doesn't feel as grippy as compared to the brand new ones with all the little side grips and everything. Yeah, and it's just, I'm not bashing the 360 controller. I felt like the 360 controller was perfect, or near perfect, with its battery pack and D-pad, and I just love the Xbox One controller. And yeah, I mean I love the offset analog sticks. Not to like bash Sony, but if I'm gonna be holding a controller and I'm moving like this, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as natural to me. Probably because I have really big hands, so like with the 360 controller, I can grip it just going like that. And I don't like having to do this. Not to say anything bad. I've used a PS3, PS2 before. I've used them, but haven't owned them. But yeah, and I'm not bashing their controllers, because I like how they're different and how they have stuck to what they have always been doing, and it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Well, I don't love like them just like how they have stayed true to their design, because they have said that they almost did the offset analog sticks for this generation. But anyways, onto the buttons. They are, or at least they seem, I don't know, I'm not using words correctly. The buttons look bigger on the one than they are on the 360, and also it's the letter that's the color, and then it's black compared to this, the way it looks on here. If it'll like focus. So yeah, that's one thing. And the buttons are really great. They all work and respond. So that's good and great. And one of the most notable changes in the controller is that the Xbox button right here that you push, you turn on the console and everything, has been raised up here on the Xbox One controller. And it's not a bad thing because there isn't really a guide, so you can't just like press it, you don't just press it and then you go to a guide. It's more or less just a go home or view that achievement sort of thing. So yeah, that's what that is. And it really won't like piss you off. You're not like, oh, I gotta move my finger all the way up, because I mean, for me, it's just boop, boop, and yeah, and then instead of start and back, which I never really understood why it was back, I always thought it was select, or it is select now. It's I think it's menu and options or something. I don't remember, but yeah, most games treat this as just start. Even in the console, I went to press that as start, and I was like, oh crap, and it was just like, yeah, we know what you meant to say, or meant to press. Yeah, so that's just sort of like the front of the controller. Oh, also, this, if you have multiple people coming over, normally for a 360 controller, if you were the first player, yours is up here, second here, third, fourth. You're all signed in. It's just who's using the dashboard is what I've seen. I don't have any friends. No, I haven't had anyone come over, and I don't have a second controller to test this out. But that's what I've seen so far about it all. Now on to my favorite part, which is gonna be the triggers and the bumpers. Now, if you look at the triggers and the bumpers on the 360, you'll notice that they're not bad by any means. I mean, they get the job done. Triggers work fine. But if I can get this to stand, and I can bring them in, if I can bring the one in, you'll notice that, okay, whatever. You'll notice that, you really have to move your finger if you're playing a game, and you're like throw grenade, shoot, you have to really move your finger. Well, on the one, not only the bigger trigger is a lot better, so that you're not just like curving your finger over to hit that trigger. You can just like casually hit it. But it's really great how the D-pad just moves right on into the trigger. Or not the D-pad. The bumper moves right on into the trigger. I mean, the bumpers are bigger, the triggers are bigger, and I also believe it's, these are like, there's no noise. Well, I'll hear you. It's because, I believe it's because of the way that the triggers work here. Like, it's sort of like don't quote me on this, because I can be totally wrong, but I believe the way that it sends signals is like, sounds like it's like a spring or something, so whenever it feels the sensor, it says, hey, he pulled the trigger, or hey, he's moving in. Well, here, I believe it's mechanical, so like, whenever you hit the gas on Forza, like they said, I believe I heard, it's not just, oh, he's hitting the gas, it's like he's slowly hitting the gas, and then he's really putting down on the gas. But yeah, the triggers also seem a little curved towards the end, which I really like. It gives you a good idea of where the end of the trigger is, so your finger doesn't slip off the trigger. Yeah, I feel like I went somewhat in depth, or as in depth as I can see. But I can just talk about the shapes. Shapes. But so for the Xbox One, it seems to be more like curved, almost like an arc around it, so that you just like grab it and it feels more natural. While here it's just they're different. There's no way to say it other than they're different. Well, the only thing that's really the same is the sync button. Thank God we have the sync button. Right here and right here. No, the sync button's bigger. Never mind. And then your playing charge kit's still also different for each of them. And your microphone input's different for each of them. But yeah. Also, this battery pack, oh my god, it's so great. Like I said, these batteries have been charging it since Friday, and it's Thanksgiving, which, like I said in the beginning of the video, happy Thanksgiving. But yeah, that's what I see that's really different between the two controllers so far. I mean, not saying that the Xbox 360 controller is bad. It's really great. The Xbox One controller is really awesome. They're both really awesome controllers, and I love them both. But yeah, they're different, quite obviously. Also, something I have noticed and want to make note of. My videos, they get uploaded really slow. So, my Xbox One Day 1 edition, I did record that day 1, and then it was like midnight that night, so technically Saturday when I was like, boop, upload, because I was just doing so much Battlefield 4 gaming. And then it took that entire day into the next day, I believe. Yeah, for it to actually upload it. So I do record these, but it does take a while for them to upload via a phone. So just note that if I get something like when it comes out and you don't see a video for like a day, it's because I can't upload really quickly because I'm not recording and then moving that onto my computer and then uploading. I'm just going straight on upload. But yeah, if you want more comparisons or more unboxings, which I'll try to get done, the more things I get, I'm gonna have to earn some more money so I can go out and get some things to open up so I can show you guys. So I'll try to do that. I'm spent a lot of money on this next gen stuff, guys. A lot of money. 500 and like basically $600. Talking tax and stuff. So yeah. $30 tax on the Xbox One. So I leave you with a Xbox On. See you guys next time.